Good morning, dear students. Today I am going to start the second chapter of class 12, inverse trigonometric function. Let us consider the function f from set of real numbers to minus 1 to 1. Set of real numbers to minus 1 to 1 where f equal to, let us take any trigonometric function, say sine x, where fx equal to, where fx is equal to sin x. So what we have considered, actually I have considered the function sine from set of real numbers to closed interval minus 1 to 1. Okay, now let us draw the domain and codomain. This is set R and this is codomain from minus 1 to plus 1, closed interval minus 1 to plus 1. What I have drawn, you can see set of real numbers. This is closed interval minus 1 to plus 1, and I have considered the function as sine function, sine function from this set to this set. Now what is the value of sine 0 degree? Sine 0 degree is equal to 0. What is the value of sine minus of pi by 2? It is minus of 1. What is the value of sine pi by 2? It is plus of 1. What is the value of sine pi? Now, sine pi is equal to 0. What is the value of sine 2 pi? Sine 2 pi is also equal to 0. What is the value of sine of minus pi? Sine of minus pi is equal to 0. So on, so on. I've taken some values of sine. These are all real numbers. Real numbers varies from minus infinity to plus infinity. I've taken some angle, 0, pi by 2, pi, 2 pi. You can take 3 pi, 4 pi up to infinity. And in this side also minus pi by 2, minus pi by 3, minus pi by 2, minus 2 pi by 3 pi, minus 2 pi up to infinity. Now what we have observed, the sine function is a many to one function. Sine 0 is 0, sine pi is also 0, sine minus pi is 0, sine 2 pi is 0, sine 3 pi is also 0. So sine is a many to one function. Okay, sine pi by 2 equal to 1. There are some other values of sine for which sine of that angle will be equal to, that is sine of 5 pi by 2 is again 1, sine of 9 pi by 2 is again 1. So sine always connects lots of angle with the fixed number like this: sine 0, sine pi, sine 2 pi, sine minus pi, many to one function, many to one function. Now in the last chapter we got a function f from a to b will be invertible, if f is both 1 1 comma 1 2. This is the definition of invertible function. A function which is both 1 1 and 1 2 is invertible. Clearly sine function is not invertible. If we consider the domain of sine as set of real numbers, sine is not 1 1 and therefore not invertible. Now if we restrict the domain, here domain of sine function is the real number, set of real numbers. If we restrict the domain of sine from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, if we restrict the domain from set of real numbers to this set, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, and codomain is same like this, minus 1 to plus 1, Then you can check sine of minus pi by 2 is a minus 1, sine of 0 is equal to 0, sine of pi by 2 is equal to 1, sine of 30 degree pi by 3 is equal to half, sine of pi by 4 is 1 by root 2, sine of pi by, this is pi by 6 actually, sin pi by 6 is half, sin pi by 3 is a root 3 by 2. You can check. If we restrict the domain of sine to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, then sine will be a 1 function as well as onto function. Therefore, if we restrict the domain of sine function to minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, you can see, if the domain of sine function is r, if the domain of sine function is r, that is from minus infinity to plus infinity, sine will not be 1 function and therefore will not be invertible. But if we restrict the domain of sine from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, sine will be both 1 and on 2, and therefore then sine will be both 1 and on 2 function, and therefore sine will be invertible function. Therefore sine from the set closed interval minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 to the set minus 1 to 1 is an invertible function. Now what you have to remember, this is sine function. Sine is a sine function from this set to this set is 1 function and onto function, and therefore invertible. Therefore sine inverse, you know what in last exercise, if f a to b is bijective, if f is from the set A to the set B is bijective, then f inverse exists, and f inverse will be a function from B to A. I'm drawing here, you can see A, B, x, y. F is a function from A to B. Suppose f of x, let f of x is equal to y. Suppose f is a 1 and onto function, and f connects x with y, f of x equal to y, then f inverse will be a function from B to A, and f inverse of y will be equal to x. F of x equal to y, f inverse of y will be equal to x. This is the definition of inverse of a function, invertible function. If f is a function from A to B is both 1 and on 2, then f inverse exists, and if f of x equal to y, f inverse of y will be x. If fx equal to y, f inverse of y equal to x. Now for sine, this is same for sine function also. Suppose now we'll consider sine function from set of minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2 to this set minus 1 to 1. Sine function, sine inverse will be a function from this set to this set, from minus 1 closed interval minus 1 to 1 to this, from minus 1 to plus 1 to this set minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Now you can see, just see, sine pi by 2 is equal to 1, sine pi by 2, sine of pi by 2 equal to 1, sine pi by 2 1, sine inverse 1 Sine connects this set to this set. Sine inverse will connect the elements of this set with the elements of this set. Sine inverse of 1 will be equal to pi by 2. Sine pi by 2 equal to minus 1. Sine 0 equal to 0. Sine pi by 2 equal to 1. Sine function. Sine inverse of 1 will be this set. Implies sine inverse of 1 is equal to pi by 2. You can see sine pi by 3 is equal to root 3 by 2. Sine pi by 3 equal to root 3 by 2. Sine pi by 3 is equal to root 3 by 2. Sine inverse will be a function from this set to this set. This set. So sine inverse root 3 by 2 equal to pi by 3. Implies sine inverse root 3 by 2 is equal to pi by 3, etc. etc. Here inverse means inverse function. It's very important. Whenever you get x inverse, it means 1 by x. F inverse does not mean 1 by fx. Here this inverse means inverse function, not reciprocal. Not reciprocal. F inverse means, so sine inverse of x does not mean 1 by sine x. Here inverse means inverse function. You have to remember in this way. Sine of pi by 6 is equal to half. Sine of pi by 6, sine connects pi by 6 of this set to half. Sine pi by 6 equal to half. Sine inverse of half will be pi by 6. So sine inverse of half equal to pi by 6. You have to remember this way. Sine of this angle equal to this. Sine inverse of this, that is half, is equal to pi by 6. Etc. etc. Okay. So now what we got? Sine. For sine inverse, the domain of sine inverse is minus 1 to plus 1, and the range of sine inverse is minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. You can check. Again, I am showing you. Sine is a function from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, from this set to this set. Domain is this, codomain is this. For sine inverse will be a function from this set to this set. For sine inverse, the domain is minus 1 to 1. This set is the domain for sine inverse. Sine is a function from this to this. Sine inverse will be a function from this to this. Sine inverse, for sine inverse, this is the domain. And what is the range? Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Okay. Sine function, inverse function. A to B, sine inverse, B to A. So what you have to remember now, this is domain of sine inverse, very important. This is range of sine inverse, minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. So whenever we write sine inverse, very important, whenever we write sine inverse of x, we have to remember the domain of sine inverse of this. Whenever we write sine inverse of x, x must be in between minus 1 to plus 1, both including. Whenever you write sine inverse of x, x must be in between minus 1 and plus 1, this x. So if we write sine inverse of 1 by 3, it is meaningful. It is meaningful because 1 by 3 is in this range, minus 1 to plus 1. If we write sine inverse of 3 by 2, then it is meaningless because 3 by 2 is more than plus 1. This is meaningless. Sine inverse of x, whenever we will write sine inverse of x, we have to be careful. X must be in between -1 and +1. Suppose sine inverse of x equal to y. This is the value of sine inverse of x. And you can see the range of sine inverse of x is -π/2 to +π/2. So y must be in between -π/2 to +π/2. Y must be in between -π/2 and +π/2. Okay, so this is the way, this is the domain of sine inverse, this is the range of sine inverse. We have to be careful whenever we write sine inverse of x, x must be in between -1 and +1. And the value of sine inverse of x, suppose sine inverse of x equal to say y, then y must be in this range -π/2 to +π/2, -π/2 to +π/2. So this is the domain of sine inverse of x. This is the range of sine inverse of x. And we have to remember, for all other inverse trigonometric function, other, that is for cos inverse, for tan inverse, for cot inverse, etc., etc. So now I am writing one note, very important note. You have to remember, you have to learn, very important. This is a very important note. Now for sine inverse, we already know, we got sine inverse, the domain of sine inverse of x is domain for sine inverse, or we can write sine inverse of x. The domain of this function sine inverse of x is -1 to +1. Domain means whenever we will write sine inverse of x, x will be in between -1 to +1, both including -1 to +1. We cannot write sine inverse of 2 because 2 is not in, 2 do not lie between -1 to +1. Whenever we write sine inverse of x, x must be in between -1 to +1. And this is the value of sine inverse of x. The value of sine inverse of x must lie between -π/2 to +π/2. Value of sine inverse of x cannot be 2π/3 because it is not in this range. Now for other functions, similarly, exactly similarly, we can prove also cos inverse of x. For this function, the domain is like sine -1 to +1, and the range is 0 to pi. You have to remember, it's a very important, very important.